so happy we alive.
All the small towns and cities, rural areas, and especially the Midwest. It's really, really sad. I had a talk show call after I got a letter published in the New York Times suggesting what I just did of the OxyContin manufacturers splitting the costs of detox. The really a right-wing corporate hugging talk show host that, take away from the bottom line of industry? You've got to be kidding. But this kind of thing is just such a pernicious, pervasive kind of problem where you have people, the industry causing trouble, causing grief and suffering, and evading any kind of responsibility for picking up the pieces. That's not good. That's irresponsible corporate behavior.
Well, I mean, isn't at least some OxyContin that's people are addicted to produced illegally?
I doubt that.
You think it all comes from the pharmaceutical company?
Yes.
And that they're benefiting
their bottom line, but not society. And the DEA doesn't know what to do about it. I mean, you can... well,
what would you do about it?
Just what I said.
What you just said.
I'd make involuntary commitment easier for this kind of thing. If somebody did something antisocial or horrible, we have commitment laws on the books, but nobody will use them because we don't have any facilities anymore. They've been shut down. But this would bring back funding to the drug treatment facilities, the corporate sponsored. Betty Ford Institute could probably get a good grant from pharmaceutical industries. 25% increase in health costs because of our pharmaceutical industries and this aggressive direct marketing. Ask your doctor.
You know, Todd, I feel like some people listening to your perspective would feel like that it was just shocking that you don't seem more supportive of the president in light of the attack on the country.
How should I feel supportive? What best way to be supportive is to be a good citizen. Best way to be a good citizen is to participate in your community and and to help it be prepared. And to help it be prepared, you don't want to have it all fighting amongst one another with chaos and distraction. And asking why and asking how are legitimate and appropriate to the proper response to the 9/11 tragedies. But having this knee-jerk, let's go and punish and let's demonize and be ignorant, not know exactly what we're doing, well, we're doing something, is just to cause more problems. And
you don't see the installation of this new government in Afghanistan and getting the Taliban out of power. You don't see that as a positive development?
Might be some improvement over the Taliban, but things are so flaky and out of control over there that it's doubtful whether or not they're going to have any kind of coherent or rational government. They never have. This history of tribalism and tribal warfare at different enclaves. And they've been the they've been the ruin of the British, who tried to go in there and subjugate them. And we see how well the Soviets made out, and so we're just following the same kind of slavish, blind, problematic intervention.
So you're not too optimistic on
No.
on the outcome.
No. And I'm afraid with Pakistan and Israel having nuclear weapons.
India?
And India. All of these nuclear powers. I just fear that we can see the end of civilization. That the world as we know it will no longer exist. And all the technology, all the advancements.
Where do you see hope?
In my rational solutions that I've articulated. But don't expect me to be a messiah. I don't want to get no, being messianic really takes a lot of energy. You know, just think of all the people's needs you saw was suddenly become father figure to. And, oh my God. Just think how corrupt I'd become. Ugh. Yeah, I just as soon watch it from the wings. No, I remember how fearful, appropriately fearful I was when I was attending a Tim Leary presentation, and he was really working the crowd and getting them very enthusiastic and saying, tune in, turn on, and drop out. And I'm thinking, whoa, you're in for big trouble, buddy. As a result, I never permitted my photograph to be taken with him. But I spoke with him privately and talked with people that were around him and became aware of the downside of guruhood. And recognized
in terms of all the trouble he got into with the government?
Well, yes, and also being vulnerable to people that didn't have his best interest in mind, and especially his choice in women.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't know about.
Well,
his wife committed suicide or something.
one of them. But I really felt that he really didn't perceive what was happening to him and how people were regarding him and how many people did fear and hate him. And so, as heady and fascinating it was, I also recognized it was kind of like I didn't want to flip too close to this flame.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I just had these feelings, and at the time, and